Well, we went on holiday to Austria once. And we went there, my friend, and my friend led me astray. I'd say it now, it wasn't me, but they led me astray. We passed this little orchard, and there were lovely apples up on the tree. And I don't know if you use this word, I don't know what the equivalent it is in your language, but in English it's scrumping. It means taking something, fruit, that doesn't belong to you. So they got up on the wall and they grabbed some of the fruit, and I was unsure, because I was a good Christian young man at the time. I was unsure, and they were getting all these lovely apples. And then by the time I got there, all the apples on the lower level had gone. It was just the ones higher up. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do now? So I'm on top of the wall. I can't reach. But then you soon realize, well, if I get up on tiptoe, I can reach. If I stretch out, something's going to happen now. If I stretch out and a little bit further, I can grab that apple. And, you know, sometimes the better apples are higher up, because the other apples, people have just grabbed them. There's a quotation I read, always let your reach be more than you grasp. God wants to encourage you this morning. Stretch your faith. Stretch. You don't have to believe in sort of miracles overnight if that's not where you are. But if there is such a thing, believe in a little miracle. Believe in a bigger miracle. But stretch yourself. And what you'll find, the more you stretch your faith, the more God will do. We read in Exodus, the reference we got there, sorry, it's down there, Exodus 14. It's about Moses, and particularly when he comes to the shores of the Red Sea. But before that, you know, God had told him, I want you to deliver the Israelites out of Egypt. He was very reluctant. He made loads of excuses. He had very little faith. And then, so God helped him. And then he comes before Pharaoh. Then there's these plagues of boils and flies and blood. And what you're seeing, if you look at it, you're seeing Moses' faith grow. By every miracle that God performs, his faith grows. And we get to this point in Exodus 14:26, where he's at the shores of the Red Sea. The Egyptians are behind him. The sea's in front of him. And it's interesting what God says to Moses. He says this in this verse. Moses, stretch. Moses, stretch. Stretch out your hand. And by doing that, the seas would part. Now, Moses was stretching two things. He was stretching his hand. He was stretching his faith. To believe that that sea could part. But all that had gone before, all the little steps of faith, all the little stretches had led him to this point. And what you find is a bit like elastic. You stretch stiff elastic, it'll go this far. Stretch it again, it'll go this far. Give it a fit, it'll go this far. It's amazing how far elastic in its nature can stretch. Your faith is like elastic. It will stretch, but you've got to stretch it. You've got to challenge yourself. When God asks you to do something, to move in faith, stretch yourself. Moses did, and we saw what happened with Moses.